Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer and I have a company called Jentle Soaps, and today on this channel I'm going to share with you one of my first recipes for making bubble icing. Now, I didn't think anybody would really be interested in this because there's so many out there, but this is one that is based on Royal Icing. This is my first recipe. There is absolutely no sugar. There is no oil, so it's completely different than the other recipe. This is a paid recipe. I'm part of a collection on my Etsy shop, so if you want to watch me do it and figure it out on your own, go for it. I'm totally all for that. Learn by formulating, or head on over and I'll tutor you and troubleshoot. That's kind of what you're paying for. Yeah, so this is a really good recipe. It takes a couple of days to dry, but it's rock hard. Like I said, there's no oil. And it pipes like a dream, like it pipes just like icing does. So you can use it on bath bombs and you can use it on all sorts of different things. It's not, a builder concrete like my bubble icing that's already in the shop. It's more of a decorator icing. So if you've got time for things to set, it does dry super, super hard, but it does take time. So keep that in mind when you're playing with it so that you're not disappointed with the time it takes for it to dry. It doesn't take that long, but it does take a little while. So yeah, come on into my soapy kitchen while I teach you how I created my first bubble icing without anybody's help. Nobody helped me at all. All right, come on in. So I'm going to make my icing. This one is actually made with pasteurized egg whites. So I'm using fresh. I don't use the powder because it's got sugar in it. And we want this to be sugar-free and oil-free. So whip up your eggs according to the recipe and we'll take it from there. So I thought I'd show you the texture you're looking for. It's very soft, very pipeable. You can even pipe in a straight tip. So this is the smallest tip I have, so you can do writing. So it's just like royal icing in that way. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to pipe with this one. You want to do decorative. I'm even going to a tint of rose. I've only really tested it before now with like closed tips. I don't know why I didn't think to pull this recipe out, but I'll show it to you now, and it will be available, and it will be available today on my Etsy site. So you can use the techniques that you use for icing with these, which is really cool. I'm probably just going to make a really big mess. But here's a closed tip. And I'm just going to show you on the countertop, oops, with each of the tips how easy it is. So see that? Oops, no, you can't see that. So that's a closed tip. So let's swap tips. So I'm going to put those back in because those are going in the rice flour shea. This is the tip I'm going to use for these. It's a clean countertop. It's just, maybe I'll get something else to. The nice thing about this is it isn't going to dry out on you right away. It is going to take time. So let me just write something. Gentle. Oops. So it's, you know, your piping skills too. It's not just, you know. So let's try a different tip. So we'll pop out the tips. Let's try a rose tip. See if we can pipe roses with this. Where's my nail? Here it is. This is just my not mad skills. So if you're good at piping roses, which I'm obviously not, you can pipe them with this. They're going to have a ragged edge, just that's how seems to be piping out. Maybe if you go slower, it'll be smoother. Let's see. I'm just going to put that in there. See if we go smoother. Slower. Okay, we got our center. Fine. Two. Now I'm looking at I can't go that slow. Let's see, as you practice, you'll get better at flowers. It's definitely recognizable as a flower. All right. See? If you want it stiffer, you can, but know that it will be harder to pipe it out. So let's do another tip. Here's a bigger writing tip, or a tube. You can see where I am. See how smooth that is? That it's oozing out the back because I am not holding it tight enough. All right, so there's one thing you can do. So another thing you can do. Here's another flower tip. This is my daisy tip, and I'm not very. These ones have a naturally. I can't believe. Like this, and you build it, oops, like this, now we'll do another layer, oops, and of course you let these dry. I don't know. That's a fluffy flower. Good at daisies or chrysanthemums. Let's see if we can pipe our leaves. Yep, you can. Let's make a little flower on our rose here. Of course, it all comes down to your mad piping skills. Today, apparently, I don't have my mad piping skills with me. Well, because I'm trying to do this quick. So here's a wide open tip. And it's going to drip all over, so I'm going to grab my towel again. There you go. Nice and smooth. This one actually gives you a nice point if that's what you want. Okay, let's switch our tips. Let's try these two closed tips. So there we go. Nice little ruffle. And do your cupcakes. Now they will dry hard. It's very soft now. It's going to take at least 2 or 3 days for them to dry, maybe 4 or 5. That's why I never really included this recipe in my collections, because it really takes a long time to dry. But it's super hard and it's sugar-free and it's easy to pipe, so it's the same as piping royal icing. So if you find it's a little too wet, add a little more cornstarch or your other dry ingredients, and you'll have a stiffer icing. And it also will dry faster. But this one's nice for really decorative work. If you're a mad piper, you can definitely get your skills on. Let's see if I can make a proper leaf. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. So this is Jen from Jentle Soaps. This is the brand new piping recipe that I've had for a million years and just didn't think anybody wanted it. But people are having trouble piping the stiffer one, which is like my glue mortar kind of recipe that I use for things like my gingerbread houses and my macarons. This is more of a decorative icing that I really don't use very often. So I don't make a lot of cupcakes per se, but definitely works for cupcakes. I've used them in the past. I made it a little soft today. You can definitely stiffen that up and make it a little harder. I'm going to put it on my macarons, and yeah, it's going to be super duper fun. I'm a mess right now because I've just been tweaking this. There you go. As hard as you can make it will give you a better dough. And you'll see these in 24 hours. I'm going to make a giant one right here. Actually, I'm going to make the giant one purple. Let me get some more of the green in here. Now, as you can see, you have to add water. You'll end up with a little bit of an oobleck situation, so just add enough so that it's nice and thick, but not sticky. Okay? If it's sticky, the water will come out. I got air in there, so we're going to have an air pocket pop. I need to get these done for the weekend. Father's Day. Well, I've got good matchies. So there's another giant one. Got 2 giant ones. I do. Let's see. I think those are our best bets. Let's see the bottom. Top. Let me just do my matching. There's one for me. Crunchy. Let's do that one. Perfect. So there's even one for me. Let's do mine. See how much thicker that is than it was before. Alrighty, so let's do these 3. It's easier and smoother to pipe it than the cocoa butter and the butter-based one, but it's not as strong for building. So if you're building something, this is not the one I would choose. All right. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and use all of this up. Big, giant. See how you can do cupcakes as the massive. If you need to store it in the fridge. But if you're doing cupcakes, you're going to need like massive amounts because cupcakes take lots. These aren't exactly matchy-matchy, but it's a nice colossal macaron. I'm going to have to call it something else because these are not oily at all. All right, so my rice flour shea macarons, and look, you can make it into a dough. If you add too much, of the dry ingredients, you get a nice dough too. Frostings. This is mine based on Royal Icing. So if you can eat Royal Icing, I think you can bathe with Royal Icing. All right. So this is Jennifer from Jentle Soaps, and we will see you next time. If you have purchased my recipes for my bubble icing, this is also included in the collection. So it is now a collection of two, one with oils and one without. I will add to it as I create more. So now's the time to get in on it. All right, talk to you next time. Click like and subscribe if you learned something new, or if you've been motivated to start creating on your own, which is awesome. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now.